hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you guys can notify whenever I have. What is that? You fucker! What fell? Hi! Yeah, we did it! You have a green mask on.
Yeah, she did.
Talk about you. Put this on! Hey!
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
He gave me this little. I'm not help, but okay. So we're gonna look at it. Yeah. Macro shit. But basically, we went and got sauce. What is up, you guys? It is Megan. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, comment on future video ideas, hit the bell next subscribe button so you guys get notified whenever I upload a video, which hasn't been very much recently. However, welcome back to a very special video. Today we're going to be celebrating me being on YouTube for 4 years. So welcome to the Megan Elisabeth 4-year special. And of course, it wouldn't be a Megan Elisabeth video if we weren't attempting to make some sort of cake. So I'm going to bring you guys along with the journey for me. We got all of the festive setup today, so let's get on to this video. So for this video, I'm not going to be telling you guys what the final cake product is going to look like until we get closer to the end. However, we are going to be making a white chocolate and raspberry filling cake because that was requested and suggested by somebody that I asked. So I'm going to go through the steps of how to make this by scratch. We're making everything from scratch today. So what you're going to need for this recipe is you're going to need 5 ounces of white chocolate. So I have some pieces that I chopped up. You can also use white chocolate, the little chips as well. You're going to need some milk, some flour, and baking powder. You're going to need sugar. I have salted butter, so I'm not going to be using salt as well, but the recipe is called for unsalted butter and some salt. You're going to need 3 eggs, and you're going to need some vanilla and anything that you want to decorate it with. So let's get into the first step of it. So the first thing that we are going to be doing today is you're going to need your milk chocolate and your milk, or your white chocolate and your milk. And we're going to be heating that on the stove. So we're going to be melting that until it is nice and smooth and all combined together. And you're going to want to do this first because this is going to need to be cooled to room temperature. So I'm going to go bring that over. I'm going to cook it on in my nice little pot over there, and then I'm going to get into the next thing that we need to do. Okay. I'm going to pour in that along with my milk. And then I'm going to turn that on. And you guys are going to want to watch this. So obviously my stove is on, and I'm going to keep that on kind of a low heat, a little high, a little low, and then you're going to want to get some sort of a spoon out. I'm going to keep watching over this because you don't want the chocolate to burn. Obviously it's going to take a few minutes for it to melt, but when that gets to that point, we'll show you guys what it's going to look like. So when you are done, you're going to have like a really milky, obviously it's going to be a milk and a white chocolate mixture, but it's going to look something like that. So just as long as there's no little chunks of white chocolate left, I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to set it aside, and we're going to be coming back to that in a minute. So the next 2 steps that you're going to do is after you're done with your white chocolate and milk mixture is you're going to be taking the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. If you're using that, obviously since I'm using unsalted butter, I'm not adding extra salt to it. You're going to mix that in a bowl and you're kind of just going to whisk it around until everything is combined, and you're going to set that off to the side. And the next thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to be grabbing your butter and your sugar, and you're going to be creaming that together in a stand mixer. You're going to want that to look like a pale and kind of a fluffy texture. The recipe says 3 minutes. Depending on your mixer, it can take longer, it can take a shorter period of time. So I am going to do that, and then once you are done with that, you are going to add your vanilla. Yeah, here we go. So I did forget to mention this, but you're going to be taking your 3 eggs before you add your vanilla, and individually you're going to be adding 1, and you're going to be mixing it until it's combined, and you're going to do that with all 3 of those, and then you're going to add the vanilla. So let's cue that time lapse. So here's where it's going to be a little bit more difficult. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be adding flour, and then you're going to be adding milk, the milk mixture, and then you're going to be adding this. So basically kind of what the recipe says is you're going to be adding 4 additions of flour, so like 4 pieces of flour and a little bit of the milk. I'm just going to be adding a little bit at a time so it's not too like overwhelming for my mixer and for me. Obviously, if you need help, you can have help. If you want to use a measuring cup or whatever, that might make it easier. I'm just going to pour a little bit in there and then pour a little bit of both. and kind of just mix that, and you're gonna be doing that until it's fully incorporated after each time. So you're gonna add the flour and the milk, make sure it's all mixed together, and then you're gonna add more until you were done with that. And as I should have said before, make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And after you're done with that, we're gonna get ready to put it in the oven. So although I'm not a professional baker yet, the best tip that I can give to you guys is always use parchment paper. It makes your life so much easier, especially if you're making brownies or cakes, because all I'm gonna do is just lift this out of the pan. Pan's gonna be mostly clean other than the little bit of the grease that I put in it, and it's gonna make it a lot easier to take stuff out. For cookies, it's okay, but now that that mixture is completely done, the recipe does say that you're gonna put it in 3 6-inch pans. However, for the cakes that I'm doing, I'm putting it in a 13 by 9 inch. So I'm just going to pour the mixture into this and cook it. It says 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna put it in for like 25 and check it just because I'm not 100% sure with the timing with the different pan. But obviously whatever pan you're using, I always put it a little bit less because you don't know if your oven's gonna cook it differently than the recipe calls for. So I'm going to do that, and we're gonna, while that is cooking, I'm gonna show you guys what filling we're gonna be making as well. Do a little bit of cleanup. That's another tip of advice I can give to you guys. So I'm going to do that. So in 3, 2, and there we go. Now that it is in the pan, I'm gonna stick this in the oven, and I'll see you guys in just a second while we're gonna be making our filling. Here we go. So you guys can do whatever filling you want. I'm going to be doing a raspberry filling. So for this, you are going to need about 4 cups of raspberries. I'm gonna do a little less just so I have stuff to top my cake. You are going to need sugar, which I'll be grabbing in a minute. You're gonna be needing some water, lemon juice, lemon zest, and you're gonna be needing some cornstarch to add to it. But basically the first thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be combining the lemon juice, the water, the lemon zest, and the raspberries into a pan, and we're going to be putting that on the stove until it starts to boil. Then you're gonna bring it down to a simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And basically when you guys are done with that, I'll show you the process along the way. You are going to be putting a strainer on it over another bowl, and you're just gonna be kind of going around and making sure that you're not getting any of like the little seeds or anything. That way it's like a nice, like smooth, not super like chunky sauce. If you guys like it chunky or with extra that didn't kind of melt into it, you guys can do that, but I'm gonna be doing the way the recipe says. And after that, you will be adding cornstarch to it, and this needs to set. So I'm gonna be hopefully setting it for like an hour until it's like a little bit done, but we'll just show you guys the process along the way. So I'm gonna turn that on again. And medium high heat is gonna be, mine is like a 5 on here. And basically you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna stir it until it starts to boil. And once it starts to boil, you're going to bring it down to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to set it off to the side so it can cool for a little bit, and we will see you guys when it's boiling. So it's been about probably 30, almost 40 minutes. The cake has come out of the oven. Mine only took about like 25 minutes, so I'm really glad I checked it because it would have completely burnt if I went to 40 minutes. The raspberry puree is in the fridge as well. Basically all you have to do is once it comes to a boil and you simmer it for 10 minutes, you're just gonna drain it in the sink, and you're gonna wanna make sure you don't get as many seeds. There are some seeds in mine because I don't have the best strainer. Once you are done with that, you are going to make a cornstarch and a water mixture. So you're gonna take about a fourth a cup of water and a half a cup of cornstarch, and you're gonna combine those together to make a mixture, and you're gonna combine that with the mixture, the raspberry that isn't the seeds in the strainer. Then you're gonna put that back on the stove, and you are going to cook that until it, or heat it until it boils again, bring it down to simmer for a couple minutes, and stick it in the fridge. The recipe suggests to do it overnight, but we just have that in there for about an hour, or when it starts to set up a little bit more. So while those two cool down, I'm actually making a frosting. So I took this from my culinary teacher from my junior year, so I kind of tweaked it a little bit since it was a chocolate one. So basically I'm just combining some powdered sugar, some melted butter, some vanilla, and milk, and I'm going to make a frosting out of that. Measure with your heart if you think it needs to be a little bit sweeter or not, or you can follow the recipe. I will have everything linked down below. So I'm going to finish that, and when we come back to the cake, I will let you guys know what's going on. Here we go. And after a long 2 hours, this is what the cake looks like. We made a number 4 to celebrate 4 years of being on YouTube. So basically what I ended up doing was cutting the cake in half, and I filled it with some homemade buttercream frosting that I made in the raspberry puree, and then I put the top on it, and I added a little bit more of the strawberry puree and the frosting, along with a bunch of fruits and some chocolate covered strawberries and just some other fruits and stuff. I just want to thank everyone so much for being a part of my channel for the past 4 years. I know that we didn't see a lot of growth until I posted the Dear Society video last year. That'll be linked down below if you guys want to see it. I want to say thank you for all the support that I've gotten from everybody, to friends, family, everybody who has subscribed, to the 95 of you that watch my videos or at least subscribe to this channel. I want to say thank you for being a part of this journey. I cannot wait to see what year 4 Meg and Elisabeth is going to bring to us. Just know that the summer days are coming up in the next month, and I cannot wait to start posting for the whole summer, and you guys are going to have some great videos. I have some more videos coming your way that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks leading up to the summer days. But yeah, I love you guys so much. If you guys want to try this, I'll have everything linked down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!